Hey everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into the magical world of Winx Club. In our last episode, we left off with Bloom, Stella, Flora, Musa, and Tecna facing a pretty tough simulation test. They had to rescue some pixies from a nasty troll, and let's just say, it wasn't a walk in the park. The pressure was on, especially for Bloom, who was still getting the hang of her powers and the whole fairy thing. But did they crumble? Absolutely not. This is where the magic really starts to happen. The girls, despite their different personalities and powers, began to click. Stella, with her usual flair and light magic, took charge. Flora, ever the gentle soul, used her nature powers to create diversions and traps. Musa's sound waves disoriented the troll, while Tecna, the brains of the operation, analyzed its weaknesses and coordinated their attacks. And Bloom, she dug deep, found her courage, and unleashed a powerful burst of fire that surprised everyone, including herself. It was this incredible teamwork, this synergy, that allowed them to defeat the troll and ace the test. Professor Palladium was impressed. And more importantly, the girls realized they were something special when they worked together. Standing there, victorious and buzzing with energy, Stella had an idea. They weren't just a group of friends anymore, they were a team. And every great team needs a name. They decided on Winx, a cool, catchy name that perfectly captured their magical, powerful vibe. And just like that, the Winx Club was officially born. But while our favorite fairies were celebrating their newfound bond, a dark shadow was looming over Cloud Tower, the school for witches. The Tricks, the trio of senior witches Aisha, Darcy, and Stormy, were on the prowl for power. They were snooping around, looking for any magical source they could steal, and they stumbled upon the records of Alfea's simulation. As they watched the replay, they saw Bloom's incredible burst of energy. It wasn't like any fairy magic they'd seen before. It was raw, ancient, and immensely powerful. Darcy, the mistress of illusions and darkness, felt its unique signature, Icy. The cold-hearted leader saw its potential, and Stormy, the master of tempests, craved its chaotic strength. They didn't know what it was, but they knew they wanted it. The Tricks became obsessed. They identified this immense power as the Dragon Flame, a legendary force from the creation of the magical dimension itself, and they correctly guessed that it resided within Bloom. From that moment on, their mission was clear: hunt down the new fairy from Earth and steal the Dragon Flame for themselves. This wasn't just a school rivalry anymore. It was a dangerous obsession. They began to plot, using their dark magic to spy on Bloom and plan their attacks. They sent monsters to Magix, creating chaos just to draw her out and test her strength. Back at Alfea, Bloom was starting to feel the heat, and I don't just mean from her own fire. Strange things started happening around her. She was having weird dreams, sensing dark presences, and the attacks on Magix seemed to be aimed squarely at her. The other Winx girls noticed it too. They saw how the Tricks were singling Bloom out, how their attacks were becoming more frequent and more personal. Bloom began to realize that this incredible power she was just discovering wasn't just a gift, it came with a target on her back. It was a heavy burden to carry, especially for someone who, just a few weeks ago, thought she was a normal girl. She felt scared and alone, worried that she was putting her new friends in danger. But this is the Winx Club we're talking about. Seeing Bloom's distress, Stella, Flora, Musa, and Tecna rallied around her. They weren't going to let her face this alone. They reminded her that they formed the Winx to be a team, to support each other through thick and thin. This wasn't just Bloom's fight, it was their fight. They made a pact, a promise to always stick together, to combine their strengths, and to protect each other from whatever the Tricks or anyone else threw at them. This moment solidified their friendship into a true sisterhood. They understood that their individual powers were strong, but together, as the Winx, they were unstoppable. They were ready to face the dangers ahead, united as one. And that's where we'll leave it for today. The Winx are officially formed, and their greatest enemies have emerged. The stage is set for an epic magical showdown. What will the Tricks' next move be? How will the Winx train to face them? We'll cover all that and more in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.